Oi, tervetuloa kaikille. Good to have you all here. Welcome back to Learn Finnish with me, episode 154. Yeah, good to see you, JF, Lorelai, Poyu, 27. Yeah, we're back to learning some languages. And by languages, just one language, Finnish, basically. Although I occasionally teach you a little bit about English. And I'll start off the stream by mentioning that I actually spoke Finnish today, IRL, out there in the wild. In the Finnish wilderness, I encountered a wild Finnish man. Actually, the story is that I go for these long runs, and there's one other. I see people outside all the time, right? Like Finnish people walking their dogs, or maybe they're going for a run. But there's one old man. I call him old. I don't know, he's probably like 70. He's older. He's out there every day running. We see each other almost every single day. We go for our morning run right around the same time. And I'm like, man, this guy's crazy because I've seen him at various points along the same route that I run. 'Cause I typically do an out and back, and I'm doing really long distance for marathon training. And I see him along there. I'm like, he's doing a lot of distance as well. And finally today, we stopped and we started talking. And I asked him in Finnish, puhutko englantia? And he was like, yo. And then he just proceeded to speak in Finnish to me, which was amazing. He's like, yeah, I speak English, but I don't want to, So then I had to like, oh shoot, suddenly I'm trying to explain the most basic stuff in Finnish, but we talked, and it was, really nice guy. So maybe when I see him again, I'll have a little bit more to say, but that was a good little victory. Although there were points where I was like, I was saying the wrong words. Like, I remember I was trying to say, like, I like the area that we live in, but instead of saying I said I want. And I think it's actually subconsciously in English, I say I would like haluaisin, and I now associate haluaisin, I would like, with to like something, which is tykkään, right? And so, yeah. But it was, I just was like, oh shoot, I'm saying the wrong thing. And fortunately I found the right words, or I would just kind of say it in English and we would find the Finnish words together. Yeah. And then I said, at the end, I said something like, hyvä jotkua, right? Like, have a good run. I don't know if that's something Finnish, I don't know what Finnish people say to each other. Y'all are so difficult to translate that it's mostly just grunting and little, I don't know, the puhekieli, so that then I'm trying to translate my overly polite English into Finnish. It probably sounds pretty funny, but I would rather be that kind of person who's a little like overly polite if it brings a smile to people, that they're like, oh, so he actually said that he wishes me a good day. Wow, that's like really nice of him. Although I know some of you guys are going to be like, oh, actually, he's probably like, what a weirdo. He's a weirdo. No. But it was funny because I told him, I was like, minun täytyy harjoitella puhua suomea. And he was like, oh yeah, he goes, I need to practice my English. But yeah. And yeah, there we go. But anyways, juoksua. Did I say joulua? Merry Christmas. Oh, no. Well, actually, I do remember because I couldn't remember the word and I kind of had to point at where we were running. And I said something like juoksuminen or something like that. I found one version of the word and then he said it the correct way, and then I just repeated it back to him, but I guess it didn't stick yet. So I probably just said the wrong word to you now. But what is it? Hyvä juoksua. But yeah. Lorelai, what do you got here? Moi, täällä on ollut oikein kaunis sää viime aikoina ja minulla energia ihan loppu. Wait, you said today has been a perfectly beautiful weather, or there has been, not today, täällä, there has been perfectly beautiful weather last viime aikoina, last something, and minulla energia ihan loppu. And I mean, it's sort of in my energy, you're kind of saying, and the energy is quite ending, or it has ended for you, and the energy has quite ended for you. Maanantaina oli pilvistä. On Monday it was cloudy. Ja minulla oli todella paljon energiaa. And I had totally a lot of energy. Todella paljon. Kummallista. And then I don't know what that kummallista means. But let me get some Google Translate help here with this. Even Google is struggling with it. What's going on? What's going on here? Let's refresh. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Hi, the weather's been really nice here lately. Lately. That's why I was like last. Yeah, aika means a time. Last times. But it does obviously doesn't make sense in English to say it that way. But yeah, lately. And I'm completely out of energy. Monday was cloudy and I had a lot of energy. Strange. Kummallinen. Kummallista. But yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, the weather has been kind of strange. But I'm really loving it actually. I feel like we need more weather like this where we get a really cold like January, February, where it's like solid snow and it's just white the entire winter. And then it gets warm and everything melts relatively quickly within like a week or two, you know? And it's sunny. That's the kind of spring I like. Not the never-ending slush, right? But yeah. Well, Lorelai, I thought that maybe that was going to be our deal, that he would speak Finnish to me, or I would speak English. I would speak Finnish to him, and he would speak English to me, or vice versa. But no, he only spoke Finnish. He clearly understood some of the English, right? Because I couldn't think, and I would say the words in English just in case he could understand. And then also I felt embarrassed because he would ask me something in Finnish, and I'm like, I have no idea what he just asked me. You know, I'm like, oh God, this is so awkward because now I'm just going to be silent, you know, and I'm like, and at a certain point I was like, well, I don't know what he asked me, but I'm just going to respond with what I think he asked, you know, and then hope that's what it was. And if it's not, then he can ask again, or I don't know. We'll figure something out. Energia in in this it needs an extra A. Is that the because it's paljon energia. You've been completely out of energy. Completely out. But hold on, wait. Paul, you said earlier, hyvä ilta, Tyler, plus muut paikalle saapuvat. Good evening, Tyler, plus everyone in place to saapuvat. I don't know. I'm gonna try to come up with something clever, but I can't think of anything. And everyone else who is coming. Or arriving. Okay, that's I probably have seen it as arriving. That's like Paikalle. Paikalle. Plus others to the place arriving. Good evening, everyone. Plus, good evening, Tyler, and everyone arriving here, arriving in place. I don't know. There's no point in trying to get a literal translation, you know. Are we really learning a language or learning about Tolkien? Well, you know, we could talk a little bit about Tolkien, all right. It's a passion. Although, you know, I need to check the movie show, like if they're showing Lord of the Rings again throughout the year, because it's the 25th anniversary. And I know they had a marathon and they showed the movies. Finkino showed them at least earlier. And I went to one of the screenings. I went to the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, my favorite. But I'd like to go again. So I'm like, I gotta check to see if maybe they're gonna show it certainly at the end of the year, right? Because if they showed it at the beginning of the year, it's not technically 25 years yet. It's only just a little past 24 years. 25 will be in, is it like December? Isn't that when the first movie was released? December 2001? Like, it was like a Christmas movie. But yeah. And Zeobol, what's up? Welcome in. Good to see you. And Lazengog, nice to see you. Welcome in. How's the game project going? It is slow, but steady. You know, I'm working on it when I can. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Like, the problem is, I get into it, and I can just sink hours into making the pixel art and just like coming up with things. But then like time goes by and I get distracted and it's hard to get back into. I think anyone who does like creative stuff kind of knows that. And so I'm certainly if I was more disciplined in prioritizing it, it would be coming along much quicker. But it's still there. Dogwood is still in development. I haven't been posting about it. But definitely it's still something I'm working on. And yes, we're going to be learning some Finnish today. How about we hop back over to Uusikielemme. They've got these interactive exercises. Last week we looked at was it the first one, the singular partitive? And what if we go to the second one? Let's look at location cases. And practice some of these. All right, let's just start. Let's just start with the first exercise. All right, and we'll do some translation as we go along. So here we drag the right place into the sentence. Oh, the place. Okay, these are all places. I was like, what the? Prior knowledge, understanding some basic words, an idea of what the missa form expresses. All right, opiskelijat ovat blank. So the students are, I'm not looking at the words, but if I were to say what it could be, I would say koulussa, right? The students are at school. Oh, and look, koulussa is one of the words. Boom. Alkoholi on. So alcohol is alkossa. Right? The alcohol is at Alko, the state-run monopoly that's called Alko. Oh, I guess there's other ones here besides that. You would say barissa probably, right? Alcohol is at the bar. I guess it's in other places as well. You know, like it could be on a plane or it could be at a hotel, but the bar is the more obvious one. Lääkkeet ovat sairaalassa, right? The medicines or the medicine is at the hospital. Sairaalassa. Wait, what is this? Japanin tuntini alkaa nyt, joten lähden tästä. Onnea opiskeluun, Tyler. Some Japanese... What is a tuntini? My Japanese lesson. A tunti means an hour, but in this context it refers to like a lesson that you're taking, your class. Your Japanese class is beginning now, so lähden tästä. So is that like you'll be back later? I'll return later. And good luck studying, Tyler. Thank you for saying that, Zeobolt. Let me just confirm that I translated your sentence correctly. Or, I mean, not that Google Translate is the, what is it? Always the correct translation, but at least it gives us an idea. Yeah. So I'll leave here. Oh, okay. Lähden tästä. I translated that incorrectly. I said return, but you're leaving from here. And good luck with your studies, Tyler. Onnea opiskeluun. Well, thank you for that, Zeobolt. Maybe you should move yourself to the left over the contact me form, Tyler. What? Oh, yeah. You know, we can do that. Why not? Uh-oh. Hold on. I'll move over here so that you guys can see it. But now I messed up everything else. I had a bunch of other things here. Okay, hopefully everything is fixed. Let me just check. That seems okay. Also, wait, my Stardew Granny one is good as well. The Stardew Granny challenge, man, it is... There's a lot of drama happening with Granny. It's amazing. Okay, Palo Alto on the fire truck is at... Where would a fire truck be? It's at the fire station. I don't know how to say that. I'll guess. Would it be the Palo Asemal? Asemal? Why do I feel like you don't say Asemasa, right? Oh my gosh, I was actually right. Like that stuck in my brain when I first started learning Finnish. Asema. When you say you're at the station, asema, you use the LLA ending instead of the SSA ending. Or usually, I guess. I don't know, maybe there's exceptions to that. When you would use the SSA ending. Puut ovat blank. So the trees are, I would say, in the forest. Metsässä. Metsässä. I like this exercise because it makes me feel like I understand Finnish or that I know a lot of Finnish. It's testing me for the kind of Finnish that is stored in my brain. But yeah. Yeah, lähden is puhekieli of lähden. Okay. Yeah, to leave. Yeah. I get a lot of those words mixed up. A lot of like the movement words I get mixed up where like leaving and going, continuing. I don't know. Autot ajavat. So wait, the cars are driving, I guess on the road, right? And that would be, actually don't, well, Thea is a road, but how do I say, would I be like, but is it in the road or on the road? And do you do something weird with the consonant gradation or no? Would it just be like Thiella or Thiessa? Thiessa. I don't know. Kadulla, the street. They're driving on the street in this case. Well, let's actually take a quick look. I want to see what Google will say if I try to write this. The cars are driving on the road. Tiellä. That's what I was looking for. Tiellä. Yeah, cars don't drive inside the road. They drive on the road. Sairas on blank. Sairas Well, wait, hold on. Sidal is a hospital. Sidos is a... Isn't that a disease? But where would the... Or maybe it means something else. Hold on, let's just double check. Oh, shoot. It means sick. But it can also be a noun that means... a sick person. An invalid. So yeah, the sick person is in the hospital. Sairaalassa. Right? What the hell? Oh, I know. I know what we did wrong. The medicines, there are medicines at the hospital, but they're usually in the pharmacy, or at least in this case. I mean, they're interchangeable because sick people go to the pharmacy. So the sick person could be in the pharmacy. I think those could be interchangeable, but it does seem like one is targeted, for the pharmacy would be more about medicines, and the invalid would be more about the hospital. Lentokone on blank. The airplane is, we could say in the sky, right? And how would I say that? Because taivas. Taivassa. Is that how you say the airplane is in the sky? Let me try it. Taivala. But actually, I want to say it's at the airport. And the airport is, how do I say airport in Finnish? I know I've seen it 100 times because you go to the airport and it's there. It's, is it just like lento asema or lentokone asema? Lentokone asemalla. I don't know. Lento kentällä. That's what it has to be. Lento kentällä. I want to look that word up. Lentokenttä. Where does kenttä come from? A field. The airfield. In technical parlance, lentoasema is used for airports with facilities, and lentokenttä only for airfields or aerodromes. However, in common language, lentokenttä is more common for airports. Well, thank you for that usage note, anonymous Wiktionary editor. Much appreciated. Lentokentällä. Lentokone on taivaassa. The airplane is in heaven. Wait, that is interesting when I look at this. Why is it all with the LL? Because it's in the sky. It's quite literally in the sky. Why is it LLA? Is that just the way it is? Or does that somehow seem to make logical sense to you Finnish people out there? Because to me, and there's no other way to say it in English, because the plane is in the sky. It's not on the sky the way a car is on the road. So like, religion came before airplanes. That's true. But this almost makes it seem like it's on top of heaven. Like heaven sits in between us and where the plane is flying, right? Because this LLA is on top of. But yeah. Matkustajat pääsevät taivaaseen, jos lentokone tippuu taivaalta. Wait, travelers do something in the sky if the plane does something from the sky. What? What is this, Polyu? Hold on, let me get some help. I didn't get all the words from this. Passengers can get to heaven if a plane falls out of the sky. Oh no. But yeah. Hey Yuha, what's up? Welcome in. Oh, your username changed a little bit. Yuha Nafta. Looking pretty nafty, if you ask me. Tukat golenta mi sesta. You're saying, hi Tyler, do you like flying? Right? Let me just double check that. Right? Lentaminen is flying. And then when you put it in this form to ask if you like it, you have to change the ending to lentamisesta. Tukatka lentamisesta. And the answer is no. I hate flying. Hate is maybe too strong of a word, but I dread it. Everything about flying sucks. The getting to the airport, waiting, going through the security, everything is such a gamble because you don't even know. You get there and maybe you'll get through security in a few minutes and it'll be really nice, but sometimes it takes 3 hours, or maybe the first place you go to is fine, but then you get a connection like I did in Dallas, and it's insane. It's insane in the airport, and the line is wrapped around the entire airport, and you're like, am I going to be able to catch my connecting flight? I hate flying. And then you're on this airport, or not an airport, you're on the plane, and you're just, I don't know, you're all cramped in there, and everyone is just burping and farting the entire way. Actually, there was a family behind me on the flight back to Finland, and they were eating the spiciest, stankiest chips. They were some Mexican style chip. And the Mexican chips, they do not hold back on the spice, right? They're gonna, I imagine in 10 years, there's gonna be some study, some longitudinal study that finds that people who ate these snacks, are much more high, have like stomach cancer and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I sound like such an old man or such an irritable person. But when you're stuck in a flight and you're just oh my God, you're kind of trapped in your chair. The flying part is my least favorite part of traveling for sure. But there you go. That's my rant. All right. I don't want to do too many rants. I don't want to get too off topic here. But thanks for that question, Yuha. Turisti nukku something. So the tourist is sleeping at the hotel. Hotelissa, right? Kirjat ovat kirjastossa. The library. The books are at the library. Boom! 10 out of 10. That's what I like to see. All right, exercise numero dos. How do I say number 2 in Finnish? What's the Finnish word for number? Is it also numero? Numeri? There's got to be, I must have come across this word at some point for number. And then kaksi would be the number 2. Let's actually ask Google if it can do that. Number 2. It is numero. Numero kaksi. There we go. Harjoitus numero kaksi. Thank you for that, DV. Good to see you, by the way. Good thing the Finnair Airbus A350 replaces cabin air every 2 to 3 minutes. I didn't know that, but that's interesting. Toinen harjoitus, the second exercise. Drag and drop places and verbs, prior knowledge, some basic verbs, and location vocabulary. All right, we can handle this. Oh, we got oh man, there's a lot, but we can do it. In the bar. Oh, this is nice. We can translate from English to Finnish. In the bar, barissa. Oh, it's the first one. Is that supposed to be like that? And the verb. Is it asking like the verb for like what you do at the bar, which would be like to drink, juoda? We'll just a placeholder. I mean, that's what you would do at a bar, right? I guess there could be lots of other verbs you could have. You could fight at the bar. You could talk at the bar. You could flirt at the bar. You could confess your life to the bartender. You know, you confess your problems instead of going to therapy. That's like the boomer version of therapy. I don't know. On the road, kadulla, or is this tie alla, or tiella, tie alla? I just say whatever, dude. I'm trying so hard. It's so freaking hard to remember all of this nonsense. But it's all, you know, I guess with any language, it just has to be, you just have to get the vibe. You got to internalize the word so you don't have to even think about adding the ending. The ending just magically appears in your brain. But we'll get there. So yeah, what do you do on the road? You drive. We just, aya, right? Isn't that the word? You drive on the road, aya. This one. I can't grab the ones from down here. So I have to grab it. Toss it to the top, and then get it. It's like a video game, dude. I don't know why this design, it really entertains me. It's like bad design, but in a way that somehow still is kind of fun. You know, like, oh, look at that. Ooh, woo. Woo, send them to the top, baby. Send them to the top. That's what we would do in high school. On track and cross country, we would do these runs, and we would call them Indian runs, which I don't know if they still do that. You know, maybe it's culturally insensitive or not. I don't know. But the idea is you run in a line, all very close together, and then the person at the back of the line has to sprint to the front. And then when he gets to the front, then the next person at the back has to sprint. And you wait for your turn until you get there. Until you get to the front. Or actually, you get to the back, and then it's your turn to sprint. And then you get mad at each other. You're like, don't sprint so fast. But yeah. Wait, DV... You're just planning your April trip to the Netherlands and really wanted to take the train, but the ticket prices were crazy compared to flights. Yeah, I would love to do a train trip around Europe. I feel like there's so much I still haven't seen. Yeah, but yeah, and I've never been to the Netherlands either. I feel like I would really enjoy. I would love to visit Amsterdam and be able to see, or Utrecht, to see like the public infrastructure. I don't know. I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to that kind of stuff. I enjoy a good tram ride. I enjoy good inner city connections and biking, cycling paths. I feel like that would be fun, just to explore the city through the public transportation. I watch too much Not Just Bikes. You mentioned Dallas, and your mind jumped to the greatest law drama, Matlock, 1986. But remembered wrong, it was set in Atlanta. See, I wouldn't even know. I've heard of Matlock, but I never watched it. And of course, there is an old TV show called Dallas. That's how most people know of Dallas. And I also didn't watch that, because that's way before my time. Though thankfully, because of my last name, there used to be a TV show that, for example, my parents or my parents, but my dad would get teased about when he was a kid, called the Waltons. Um, but it wasn't popular when by the time I was born, and in the 90s people weren't really watching the Waltons. It was always an old person. If I ever got teased for my last name being Walton, it was always some old person that would say it, and I would be like, "Oh yeah, I know of the show, but we never watched it. I don't think I saw a single episode." We did watch some old shows like the Beverly Hillbillies and I Love Lucy, and of course all the old cartoons and um, old Disney movies, of course. But yeah, that was also as a kid. It was so strange watching these old cartoons and having no idea when they were made. Like they're like, because I knew they were old, but were they made just 10 years ago, or were they made 100 years ago? I remember thinking about that as a kid because I was still too young to know. I was just watching these old TV, but then I would hear the adults talk about watching them when they were kids, and I was like, so wait, it's been around that long? But yeah, DV, you full on hate flying, and you're staying in Utrecht. It was like 50% the price for the accommodations, and only half an hour by train to Amsterdam. Yeah, okay. Yeah. The only thing I know about the Netherlands is what I learned playing the game Pandemic Rising Tides. All right, it's a great board game, at least. Hold on one second. Oh, hey, Pahis, welcome in. Good to see you again. How are you? 2 summers ago, you traveled to Europe by train, or traveled, oh, to Europe by train. But wait, JF, do you not live in Europe? Through Sweden and Denmark. In Germany, your train ride turned to bus replacement service. Or is that something, JF, if you live in Finland, you travel to Europe, even though Finland is part of Europe? It's like you're so far on the boundary of it that you're still traveling to Europe when you leave Finland. But yeah. And yeah, your train ride turned to a bus replacement service. Thanks the was it the Deutsche Bahn. I've also heard it called the Autobahn, right? Or is Deutsche Bahn something different? The safest place in Dallas during a tornado, the Cowboy Stadium. The only place there'll never be a touchdown. That's a good one. I'll tell that to my friend who's from Dallas. He'll appreciate it because I've heard him make jokes about the Cowboys being really bad. We're on unsupervised time. Hey, it was only for like a few seconds, all right? I like having little mini breaks to get some water, to recalibrate. I got to step out of the spotlight. You guys are just, you're all staring at me somewhere. You're somewhere around the world, probably mostly here in Finland, staring at me. Actually, it was so weird. I remember the first time someone told me they watch my videos on a TV. And I'm like, that almost makes me uncomfortable. Like, I didn't sign up to be on someone's big screen television. You know what I mean? I'm like, because when I was making those videos, I was making it just on my laptop, and I'm like, I was only thinking of it in terms of people just watching it on small screens, I don't know. I don't know why it tricked something in my brain where I was like, oh, I'm like, I could be in surround sound in someone's house. That is so weird. But hey, I appreciate people watching, and I'm not going to tell someone not to. Matlock theme songs were... Wait, is the S word? It goes so hard. Yeah, Lorelai, we're basically an island over here in Finland. I mean, we basically don't exist, right? I think that was the meme. What year was it that that meme came out? Finland is a conspiracy. You would intuitively say Keski-Eurooppaan, Länsi-Eurooppaan, etc. if it's not a single country that you're visiting. Okay, like Central Europe, Western Europe. Yeah, I guess in English we do have yeah, for sure we have Central Europe, Eastern Europe. Though this is weird. I don't know if Finland is Eastern Europe. Okay, I'll say it this way. Finland is in Eastern Europe, but Finland is not Eastern European. Because Finland is so like north and more northern European than it is Eastern, even though it is on the east. Whereas like Central Europe, but then I don't actually know where does Central Europe end and Western Europe begin? Because what? I actually have no idea. Southern and Southern Europe as well, because I would say that Italy is Southern Europe, but it's also kind of Central Europe, and it's also kind of Western Europe. It's like all of those. The only thing it's not is Northern and Eastern Europe. And even then, it's kind of Eastern. It's like, I don't know. But anyways, Deutsche Bahn is the notoriously unreliable train operator in Germany. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying thank you for the road that the bus was driving on. But Deutsche Bahn is the name of the train company. Okay. I'm kind of surprised. I thought the Germans were notoriously on time, and you know that everything was engineered very well, but apparently not this company. You're watching the stream at 240p because the stream is being slow. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not it's not slow on my end. I hope everyone is able to at least watch it in some decent whatever. I'm streaming 60 frames per second, no drop frames. But yeah. Tyler was on our Samsung 55-inch TV a few months ago. Oh god, 27. You'd say France is Western and Belgium is Central. France is Western and Belgium is Central. That's where you would start. You would draw the line. Like, yeah. Wait, Germany is also then Central? Or is Western Germany West? Or is it Central? I guess it would have to be Central. I don't know. Now we got... Everyone is like... Switzerland, Austria are the southern central European countries. What? Hey, Astrid, what's up? Welcome in. Good to have you here. Yeah, maybe European subdivision, depending on context. Yeah, we are a suburb of Europe up here in Finland. Kind of, if you think about it, we're a bit more spaced out, you know. I would even say we're more car dependent as well in Finland than some of these other countries in like Central Europe. Although I don't know. I don't really know if I really think about it. I just know that there's obviously Helsinki and the whole metropolitan area is fine. You don't really need a car. But when you do live further out in Finland, you know, yeah, you really need one. But yeah, Germany's 100% central, says DB. Okay, well, we got that settled. But hold on, let me come back to Finnish. I'll check chat again here in a second. In the bakery, Leipomo is bakery. Leipomossa is how I would say that. Leipomossa. There we go. Found it. And the verb is to bake. Leipoa. Is that the verb? Let's see if it's here. Yeah, leipoa. Throw it to the top. I like that. Boom. In the hotel, hotelissa. And the verb would be, I guess you're sleeping in the hotel. Nukkua. Nukkua, is that? Oh, it's way down here. I got it. I got it. At the bus stop, asemalla. Asemalla. Or it's, wait a second. Hold on. There's another word for this. It's like busipusaki, right? Isn't that the word? Busipusakila. How about that? Pusakila. That's the one I'm looking for. Oh, no, it decided to go up here. And what do you do at the bus stop? You wait. Orota. Is that one of our options? Yeah, it is. Orota. Because God forbid you talk to somebody at the bus stop. You wait in silence. I do actually really appreciate the silence in Finland. It's like, man, it's so nice. And there's something so nice when you're on a bus and or on a tram or anywhere, and there's just a bunch of people there and everyone is quiet. And you're just like, yeah, we're all just vibing. We're all, and it's fine. I'm the kind of person, I raw dog the bus. Like whenever I leave home and go someplace, bus, train, whatever, I almost never use my phone. Like I never pull out my phone and scroll Instagram on the bus or any of that nonsense. I raw dog it. There's something that's really nice about watching the scenery go by and kind of just being with my thoughts. What do you guys like? Also, how do you translate raw dog? How would you, if you were to take raw dog, if you know what that means in English, it can mean something really crude, but in recent years now, it's being used just to refer to like any sort of unfiltered experience, especially if you're on a flight or you're sitting someplace and you have no distractions. You're not even watching a movie and you just sit there, just sitting there like almost in a Zen state. That's called raw dogging. It has like a more crude meaning as well, but let's not go there. How would you, is there a word for that in Finnish? Not the crude one, but yeah, the unfiltered sort of experience. And if you were to take the word raw dog and make it into a Finnish word, would it be like raw dogilla or something like that? How would you say it? Raw dogia. Raw dogging. I raw dogging at the lentoa. Like I raw dogged that flight. How would you say that? Last summer holiday, you drove your old and cheap car to Normandy and back. Oh, cool. I lived in Normandy, JF. Very briefly. I spent a semester there in college. I lived in Caen, or Caen, like Caen, but they pronounce it like Caen. It was, yeah, really beautiful. And man, it's so, isn't it interesting when you like think back to those times and like how long ago they were? It feels almost like a different lifetime. But I'm so glad that I had that experience. I had so much fun, made some good friends, and lived the French lifestyle, baby. I had lots of baguettes, Drank lots of wine, you know. Spoke a little bit of French. Oh man. Yeah. I need to go back to France. It's been too long. I'm probably going to be really frustrated though when I go back and then speaking French, it will feel so easy compared to Finnish, and I'll just be like, F this Finnish language. Why? No, no. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, podcast and watching scenery or game on phone. Lorelai, that's what you do. Yeah. I could listen to an audiobook. I've thought about doing that. But anytime I get on a bus, I'm just sort of like, I don't really feel like listening to my audiobook right now. When I go for a run, I really like to listen to something. Although actually the past 3 days, I haven't been listening to anything. I've just been raw dogging my run, you know. But it's a lot easier on a run, I guess. Because I'm thinking, you know, I'm checking my watch. And it's easy to think through a lot of things and to enjoy the scenery. But yeah, I don't really do anything on my phone. And DV, you've heard it used only just like that, raw dog. But wait, have you heard it in Finnish? You've heard it in the past few years? Yeah, it became a meme a few years ago. It became a really big meme, at least in English, I remember. Gen Z adopted it and started using it. Can't remember like what, but yeah. If you had to describe it in a more formal setting, you would say something like matkustaa ilman virikkeitä. So like traveling without virikkeitä. Wait, why do I feel like that means devices? But we can check that. And Pahis, you said here, nauttia matkustamisesta. Why do I feel like nauttia means to enjoy? Like to enjoy traveling. Here, let me, you guys are giving me some good words to practice with, so let's do that. Let's come here to the Finnish. Yeah, enjoy traveling. Okay, I did kind of get that. And then DV, you had given us a little thing here. Let's see it. Yeah, travel without incentives. Okay, I was wrong about devices. There's another word that starts with a V that means device. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's something else. Maybe this is wrong, though. Maybe väline? Yeah. Lorelai, yeah, no. that's the meaning before it got co-opted. But maybe it's a good thing that raw dog is being liberated from its very crass origins. And it's a positive thing in a sense of like really putting your devices away and just living in the moment, and especially in a moment that doesn't matter, right? Like moments like on a flight or on a bus or whatever, you're just raw dogging. You know, like when I'm watching Lord of the Rings, I'm just raw dogging it. So I'm raw dogging it so hard. That's my relationship with Lord of the Rings. The movies, at least. And the books as well, you know. But yeah, your hotel was in Caen. Okay, it was a good distance from all the sites in the area. Yeah. Did you go to visit the D-Day like cemeteries, like the beaches and the cemeteries there? Really beautiful. And there's something about it. It's not that it's haunting, but there's something about the gravity of it. Like you really feel the weight of loss. You know, like World War II, you hear about it and you read about it. You see all the documentaries that your grandpa has on the History Channel or whatever when you're, you know, but like then you go and you actually see the cemeteries, that the gravestones just going for miles. And it's beautiful and tragic and sad and really puts things into context in a way. It's like the movie Saving Private Ryan. Where it starts. I think it starts in the cemetery. I thought that was a really good movie. It's been a while since I've seen it. But wait, how does Google Translate handle raw dog into Finnish? Let's try it. I was thinking about doing that actually, but then I got sidetracked. Let's try it. It's one word as far as I know. Raw dog. Rakakoira. Is that? It's a brute dog. That can't be it. You say, I just raw dogged that flight. What is this? Oh, is it two words? I would put it. Mina vain sinittelin sitä lentoa. Wait, what is that? I just endured that flight? No. It's not about endurance. There just isn't a word for it. You guys got to start saying it. You got to start using raw dog in the, I don't know, create a Finnish word for it. Raw doggy. Raw dog, not the sin. Rakana, or the more commonly just translated into Finglish. Raw doggasin. I raw dogged. Raw doggasin. Oh man, it is so funny when Finnish people use English words. And especially because it's like Finnish people take the English word and then they pronounce it a very Finnish way. Raw doggasin. You know, and I don't know why it's so easy for Finnish people to like take English words. You hear it quite a lot. But yeah. And actually, it's one of those things as well I noticed when I first came to Finland, the teachers would talk about this. It's a phenomenon, and maybe you guys have seen it as well, where a lot of teenagers will speak English and Finnish interchangeably in the middle of a sentence. But then eventually, as I guess you grow out of it, when you get older, you stop doing that. But it's like a distinct thing that a lot of teachers said. It's not just a generational thing, because there were teachers who'd been there for like 30 years. It was like it's always been kind of this way where. And maybe it was also at the school I was teaching at where it was more very bilingual. So it could have also been more exaggerated there. But yeah. Yeah, virike is more like a stimulus or something, yeah. Yeah. Traveling without stimulants. Lol at Translate Lorelai, you thought that was funny. And Jay, if the place was full of D-Day everything, you spent a few days in the area. Well, good. I'm glad you got to see all that. Rodogasin. Is that how you would pronounce it, DV? Rodogasin. With the Rodogasin. That's the Rally Englantia. All right. At the tennis court. What's the word? Well, court, I know a word for court is piha. So maybe it's tennis pihalla. Let's see, is that, yeah, no, it's a field. It's a field. Tennis kentällä. It's like the airfield. Kenttä. Kentällä. Tennis kentällä. Interesting history of the word tennis is it's one of the few words that is originally French, but in French now they use the anglicized version of the French word, because tennis was a sport played by the royalty before the French Revolution, and there were actually quite the way that the aristocratic class spoke French back in those days sounded quite different from the way that modern French is spoken. Modern French sounds more like the common man French, the poor people French. Because of the French Revolution, the aristocratic version of French, which sounded more like the old French, where they pronounced a lot of the words. So Gosh, this is like a bad explanation, but essentially, when you would play this game, tennis, when you serve the ball across the court, you say out loud tenets, which is like take, right? And then when the English aristocrats heard the French aristocrats doing this, they would say it as well, but they pronounced it tennis. And people don't say tennis anymore when they serve, but that at least is what I was told is the origin of the sport and why it's called that. And then, of course, during the French Revolution, they stopped playing tennis because they were like, killing off all of the aristocrats. And it wasn't until later that it was re-imported into France under the English name tennis. But yeah, I don't know. At least that's what I've heard. Maybe the etymology there is a bit mythologized, so take it with a grain of salt. But it sounds logical enough to me. And what do you do at the tennis court? You play pelota, right? Is that a word? It is. It's here. Boom. Got it. The adults speak proper Finnish, and that is cringe, or whatever the kids call it these days. Very cringe. There's no version of me that is not cringe. I've realized this at this point. I just have to be whichever version of cringe it feels most comfortable, because I will never be a cool dude. In kindergarten, I don't remember the word for kindergarten. Is that like, well, I know daycare. Hold on, wait. I have to think about this because I get daycare confused. It's like päiväkoti. So in that case, it would be päiväkodissa, right? Oh, päiväkodissa. But in my mind, kindergarten is not daycare. Like, kindergarten's not daycare. At least according to my American understanding of these things. Daycare is where you go when you're really little. Kindergarten is sort of like what you do before going to first grade or preschool. And kindergarten is more like organized at a school or a more educational institution, whereas daycare might have some games and stuff, but there's not like a curriculum or anything. It's just sort of like you're still too young to do any of that. And what do you do in kindergarten? Do you study? I don't think you study. You play. You pelata, right? But maybe you opiskella. Is that on here? No. Oh, actually it is on here. But at school though, you opiskella. So I'm gonna put that there. I'm just making sure that daycare is not one of the other options on here because I don't know, maybe I could be wrong. Well, we'll come back to whatever this is. In church. In church is kirkossa, right? Kirkossa. Kirkko. And what do you do in the church? I guess it depends on what kind of church, but I guess you would pray. Or you worship. I don't know the words for that though. Prayata. No idea. Well, we'll come back to that. I don't want to just look at the, I want to try and think of the word first, and then we'll come back. In the restaurant, ravintolassa. That one's easy. What do you do at the restaurant? You eat. Syödä, right? Boom. At the gym. What's the word for gym? I don't remember, actually. Let's skip that. In the store, kaupassa. And what do you do at the store? You shop. And there's a couple of different words for this. Hold on. There's like osta, which is like to purchase. And then there's like myydä, which could mean to sell or maybe to pay. But I'm going to say osta is probably, yeah, it's here. I'll use that. And can't you also say like olen ostassa, like I'm shopping? Is that also a phrase? But Yuha says, I had a child 14 years old who at work just started speaking English at you. I was kind of taken aback since I never spoke English or told her that I can speak it. She did that to everyone. What? That is interesting. Maybe I'm an old man yelling at the clouds, but I think that is rude. You shouldn't assume someone speaks the same language as you. And why on earth would you speak too intermingled? Oh, when people... Wait, which is rude? If that she spoke English to you? But yeah. Olla ostoksilla. Like to be shopping. Ah, okay. Ostokset is the shopping. Olla ostoksilla. The shopping's plural. So yeah, I said, what did I say? Ostassa. I made up a different ending, but yeah, it's olen ostoksilla. At the bank, pankissa. That's easy. Pankki. And what do you do at the bank? You rob the bank. What? I mean, what do? You withdraw money. You deposit money. I don't know what either of those words would be in Finnish, but we'll come back to it. And at school, koulussa, right? Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I got this. Urheilla is what you do at the gym to play a sport. Right. I don't think of this as a verb though. Because I often hear the noun form, which is urheilu, like a sport. Right? Like tykkään urheilusta. I like sports. I don't know. I probably didn't make it plural correctly, but yeah. What are these other ones? Oh, leikkiä is to play. That's what you do at kindergarten. To play. Leikkiä. Okay, säästää is to save. You go to the bank to save your money. You deposit savings, I guess, or withdraw the savings. What is this? Okay. Kuntosalilla. Kuntosalli. I mean, that has to be the gym but I feel like, doesn't kunto mean like a people or a nation or something? Or am I confusing that with something else? And then sali means a hall or a room yeah. So it's like the people room, the people hall. And then rukoilla is the one word I don't know, which probably means to pray or to worship. Let's take a look. Was it this? Rukoilla. To pray. To beseech. Good word, good English word. And then what was this other one? It was the gym. It was the kuntosalli. Well, wait, sali means something else than hall, because you can also say halli, right? I guess it does mean a hall. I did get that right. Yeah, kunto means fitness. I'm getting it confused with consign, right? Doesn't consign mean like the nation, like kansainvälinen, international or something like that, or like Kansainmuseo, the National Museum. Kansa. I'll look it up. Kansa. In Finnish, a people, a nation. Yeah. What else? Why else was I getting something? Like, isn't there something like if you said like a municipality? What? Kunta. That's the other word I was... Kansa? Kunta. And what's this other one? Kunto. Good luck. Good luck remembering the differences, but you know, there it is. There it is. All right. Okay, guys, we are past our 1 hour mark. I'm gonna wrap up stream here pretty soon, but I want to get to what you guys were saying here in the comments or in the chat. Okay, yeah, Yuha says she knew I spoke Finnish, but she assumed I could speak English. I think it's kind of rude to start talking another language. Just assume that everyone in the conversation understands. Yeah. That makes sense. Though it is kind of funny that, like, on some level, that's a problem I've never really had because we're so monolingual in America that like rarely do you even have the opportunity to use other languages, or if you do speak another language, it's like you can't assume. I guess at least with English, not that she wasn't being rude, but you can safely assume Finnish people have some familiarity with English to be able to understand. But even in America, if you spoke Spanish to people, so many Americans would have no idea what you're saying. I mean, I guess I would understand a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, I was confusing it with Kunta and Kansa. Yep. Thanks, Lorelai. If I met you and I just started throwing Swedish sentences mingled with English, you'd be confused, right? There's no need to switch languages all willy-nilly. Yeah. Yeah, but there's also something about being 14 years old, I think. That's also, the social skills and are still developing, right? So, yeah. But yeah, this was a good practice. I'm enjoying uusi kielemme. I think they do a good job of putting together these nice little exercises for us to practice with. Yeah. What else is there to say? Yeah, thanks for following along with my learning Finnish journey. I just wanted to say that in 20 days? Yeah. In 3 weeks from yesterday, it will be the 10-year anniversary of when I first uploaded a vlog to this channel. Kind of crazy to think back on that. So maybe we can do something special that week when we do our live stream. Because our live stream will be on the 31st. And we could have a little 10-year. I really enjoyed the celebration that we did when we did the 150th episode, right? We had a little Kahoot quiz. So, yeah. It's kind of crazy to think it was 10 years ago I moved to Finland. Man. Or not, no, it's over 10 years ago since I moved to Finland, but 10 years ago since I started this channel. It's like, time just flies by. But at the same time, it's only 10 years. Like, I hope to be here for many more decades, right? Think of all the exciting things that could happen in the decades to come. Though it is hard to see that or to feel that way. Sometimes it just feels like time is moving by too quickly. The best years are behind me, But that's probably just a cognitive distortion of some kind, But Poyu, you were a bit passive today. Thanks for the stream. See you. Well, thank you, Poyu. Yeah, no worries. You were speaking in the passive case in Finnish, all right? You were just using more of the passive. That's a feature of the Finnish language, the passive whatever construction. But yeah, Tyler on pian kielimestari. Tyler is quite the language master. Well, I did get a perfect score on both of those exercises, so thank you for that. So it's a very easy exercise to complete. So I don't know. I want to brag too much, but yeah. And I should make a short video to kind of celebrate or commemorate 10 years. Yeah. I'm thinking I should, you know. I should totally do that. Oh, soon. Why did I think peon means soon, not quite. So Yuha's compliment was more about in the future. Tyler's not yet the master, but soon he will be the master. So you gotta keep me humble, all right? Oh man, but yeah, I forgot about that peon. I guess I'm trying to think what other word would I be confusing it with for quite. I guess you could say melko or ihan. Maybe it was ihan probably with peon. But yeah, otherwise, guys, I'm really enjoying the Stardew Valley Granny Challenge. I've been doing a lot more of those streams, if you've probably noticed. So you guys can hop on over there, even if you don't know anything about Stardew, because I read the chat and just hang out, and we talk quite a bit as well. So you don't have to necessarily know the game to join and have some fun. And who knows, maybe you'll get into it, because I would say the majority of what we do is just craft lore and this granny character that we've created. We have all sorts of crazy fun, like a whole backstory for her that I think is kind of hilarious. So you could also come for that if that interests you. But yeah, yeah. Case in point, soon, Tyler, soon. Exactly. Yeah, I just got to keep practicing. And yeah. All right, guys, have a good rest of your Tuesday. And yeah, hope to see you in the next one. Episode 155 next Tuesday. Naharan peon. I'll leave with that.